Big, 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 big news. Lionel Messi has put in a transfer request. Wow. This is probably I would say this is the biggest transfer news in the history of football. The biggest. And we know that, listen, Cristiano Ronaldo's massive. He's moved from Real Madrid. It sent ripple effects across football. It was huge. But this is bigger because Lionel Messi he's the ultimate one club man, isn't he? Now, in the same mold as if Ryan Giggs or Paul Scholes at 32, 33 would have requested to leave Man United, it would have had the same kind of effect. It's Lionel Messi, though. Messi is one of the top two players in the history of football. He wants to leave Barcelona. He's linked with everybody. It's been trending that Man United are going to go for him. This morning, it's trending that it's going to be Manchester City. No one knows. The guy is on £988,000 per week base salary. I want to break that down a little bit. Hopefully tonight we're going to have a transfer and financial expert on the show to try and break this down a little bit more for us, because this is a lot to unpack. But essentially, Lionel Messi could be leaving Barcelona at 32 years of age. He's clearly, with the quality he's got, has so much more to give in football. But I want your views and opinions on this. Do you think he'll leave? Where do you think he's going to end up? Could it be the Premier League? Smash the living daylights out of the like button right now. Hit the share button as well. By the way, big shout out to Anita from Gold Diggers. Did her first show on the channel last night. 20-odd thousand views here on YouTube. The clips this morning that we've put up on my personal Twitter account at Terry Flewers, but collectively done around 15 to 20,000 views already. Great show. More of that to come. Announcement on the Man United show very, very soon. I've just got to speak to somebody about that. So big things moving. Of course, the regular slot with DT is going to continue each week. And we do have some big Jadon Sancho news later today. But let's stay on Lionel Messi, first of all. Do you think the man's going to leave? You can call the show. Skype lines are open. If you want to give us a buzz right now, just, you know what to do. Just go onto Skype, search Football Terrace. You'll see our logo. We're live. We're ready to go right now. Give it a buzz. Get yourselves on. I want to know people's thoughts and feelings on this. Infinity TK says he's going to City. He could be. He could be going to Manchester City. Affordability is going to be so key here. How people do the pricing. I've got some theories on how that could be done. Shrey is our first caller of the day. Shrey, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Lionel Messi moving. Where do you think he's going to go, bro?
I think he's going to go to Man City if he's going to leave. I think Man City is a really realistic club. I don't think we can get him. I think it will be Man City.
Well, why don't you think Man United can get him?
I don't. It's just. Firstly, I didn't even think he was going to leave. I don't think he's going to. And if he's going to leave, it just sounds so weird. I don't think he'll come to us. No way. I don't think there's a reason to that. I just don't think that's possible.
Listen, I'm a bit like you. My brain is I think 60% of my brain is saying he's going to stay. They'll come to a resolution. I think the problem he might have and wanting to leave is, how long is this rebuild going to take? How long is it going to take Barca to get back to being a powerhouse? It might take 2 or 3 years. And by then, you know what I said before about Messi? I didn't actually realize when I said that they should sell him that, I mean, they've tied themselves so deep into Messi that he can get himself out his contract for nothing and leave, right? Which is crazy. What I find interesting is that I think that Barcelona should rebuild without him. Because for me, wherever he goes right now, it's 2 or 3 years max. And if you're rebuilding the team, like Barcelona need to do, I think you need to build around some of your younger players as an example. However, him going to a Man City or a Man United or a Liverpool or something like that right now. Hello. What you got? Oh, nice. You got your new trainers on. That's very nice, baby. She come show me. She got new trainers. She come to show me him. Bless her. And I feel like if Man United signed him as an example, I would love him at the club for 2 or 3 years as the by the way, I wouldn't take him over us getting Sancho because of longevity. If we can't get Sancho, but they said, listen, for the next 2 or 3 years you could have Messi while Rashford and Greenwood and these men retire, then I would probably take it. So I think there's actually a benefit in many ways to him him leaving Barcelona, but it's who can afford him at £1 million per week in salary. Bro, I really do appreciate that coming on and having your say. Feel free to call in. I know a few other people did. We've got Chief Ham on next. I love this guy's name. Chief Ham, welcome back to the channel. What do you want to say, bro?
Hello.
Hello, bro. Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona, £1 million a week. What's going to happen?
Hi, Terry.
Hello, mate. What do you think's going to happen, my bro?
About Messi, no?
Yeah, of course, that's what we're talking about, bro. Yes, Messi. Is he going to leave? Where's he going to go?
I personally think because of Guardiola, he is going to Man City. And basically, I think Premier League is gonna, be the chart buster of everything because Kai Havertz, Jadon Sancho, hopefully, Lionel Messi, Thiago, and lots other.
Yeah, I get where you. Do you think Barcelona? Do you think Barcelona will allow him to leave? Do you think they'll actually say, you know what? Although they're not going to get any money for him, I don't believe. I'm have to get that.
Listen, mate. I take it with a pinch of salt. But what I know is that relations between the president and Messi were so bad, so bad. I think this is overall a big plot to make Messi leave because reports came in. Ronald Koeman spoke to Messi and he said, "You have some extra privileges and those privileges need to be ended." How the hell will Ronald Koeman? He is not the manager of Barcelona beforehand. He just came in and said and told Messi that your privileges have to end.
And they
Who
do.
told him that?
You're so right on that. And listen, I love Lionel Messi, but you would always hear this. Lionel Messi isn't happy with X, Y, and Z signing. Lionel Messi doesn't want this player to come to the club. Lionel Messi wants this player. That for me is the ultimate level of player power. Now, of course, he's earned an element of that due to how good he is, but that's the only interesting factor if he leaves Lionel Messi and goes somewhere.
I'm sorry, Terry. I don't agree with you because.
What do you mean you don't agree? You just said hang on. You just said that he's been told that he's got to lose his.
No. I'll tell you about the privileges thing, because Eric Abidal and Lionel Messi had a spat in between them. They had a fight. They had bad relations, and why so? Because Barcelona had a scam called Barca Gate. This thing is not in the media right now because there's so much PR from the club that this thing is dissolved right now. But Barca Gate was a scam which was started by the board of Barcelona that defamed Lionel Messi. This privileges thing you're talking about, Messi said in an interview, "I am just like another player in another team."
Okay, so you don't think? Okay, so you don't. So let me just unpack this. So you don't think that he gets any kind of? You don't think he's been throwing his toys out of his pram? You don't think that he's kind of internally created politics against certain players? You don't think he's got any kind of player power at all?
No, definitely not. But he is Lionel Messi. He's been there for 15 years. So Dion says, "Do this."
I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
Listen.
I'm just gonna say this, Chief Ham. I think that he does. I think that he has become too powerful, which is one of the reasons why Koeman has just said that your privileges are going to be taken away. I think he's at the very least, I would say, Messi's had too big a voice at the football club, and a football club can't be run like that forever. Because you know what happens in 2 or 3 years' time? Lionel Messi's gone, and then what? You've got. That's why a club needs to run itself differently. So listen, I appreciate you coming on, having your say, bro. Really do appreciate it. Next up, we have O'Shea Johnson. O'Shea, welcome back to the channel, my bro. What you saying?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect, mate. Lionel Messi, do you think he'll leave?
Yeah, I do. I do think he'll leave.
And why is that?
For the same reason that you just said about 30 seconds before I jumped on the call. He's too powerful. Players like Chris, there's only 2 players in football right now that can pretty much tell the manager, this is who I want playing today. And it's Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah, and Ronaldo doesn't do that.
Transcends into if I want to leave.
Yeah. And we know that Ronaldo doesn't do that. Ronaldo, you know what I would say about Cristiano Ronaldo? He has an arrogance about him. He moans and he bitches on a football pitch, but it's the kind of moaning and bitching that I like. Ronaldo was brought up in football by Sir Alex Ferguson. There is no way that he disrespects managers in that. In my opinion, no. I know you're not. I'm saying I think there's a difference. I think Messi's situation is beyond different. I think he's got away with too much at Barcelona in terms of the control and power that he's got. And I think that one of the reasons he's now looking to leave is I think they're trying to take it away from him now because they realize you can't build for the next 10 years with Lionel Messi calling the shots because he ain't going to be here.
Yeah. And I can't really elaborate much on that because you're right. I remember, I don't know if this is true, so don't quote me on this. This might just be a rumor that I heard, and it might have no weight to it. But I remember hearing a couple of years back that apparently something happened on the pitch, or something happened with a team sheet, and Messi went and complained to the board, and they changed it. They told the manager to change something. I might not be right, but this is what I'm hearing a couple of years back. This just shows the power that this guy has at the club. They worship him.
No, and you know, and I get it, and that's what's interesting about him leaving. So we're going to have a financial expert on later on today. But I was talking to KJ before I went live, and of course, interestingly, if I look at Man United as an example, because we're one of the teams that's been trending around signing him, and I think every single big club in world football right now is looking at their finances, talking to investors and sponsors, and looking at a way of saying, can we make this work in terms of the numbers? Because if you could sign Lionel Messi,
United.
Sorry?
Go to United for the simple fact that Ronaldo was at United.
No, that's fine. But that isn't the point I'm looking at. The clubs are going to look at this and go, is it plausible? Because from a footballing point of view, for the next 2 or 3 years, even if he isn't Messi of old, he's still going to be better than any player. Like, he becomes the best player in the Premier League as soon as he arrives, as an example, still. So I think everyone would want him at the club. I think the other element is people have got to understand how powerful and how much money Lionel Messi can make you. You know, if you want him to, if you go to Lionel Messi's management team today and say, we want him to do an Insta post, and, you know, advertise our product, it's about £1 million for an Insta post. So from say you're Man United or you're Man City or Chelsea, I'm throwing names out here, and you get Lionel Messi on his Twitter account promoting the new Adidas trainers that are being marketed via Man United for Adidas. Like, that one Insta post from him is worth £1 million in marketing, right? So although you're paying him a lot of money, what you gain through that, even from a commercial point of view, is massive. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to talk to sponsors around how can you help us pay for this. Interestingly, so it's going to cost you. And I also don't think Messi's stupid enough to think he's going to get paid £1 million a week at any other club but Barcelona. I think he almost knows that in his heart of hearts, that no one's going to pay me £1 million a week
unless he went to China or somewhere like that.
Yeah, and then for me, if Messi goes to China after leaving Barcelona, he will forever lose the battle between who's better, him or Ronaldo. People will say, "Hang on,
look, Terry,
he will."
Can I just
Go on, mate.
Elaborate on that. Look, personally, for me, and even as a Liverpool fan, I would say Ronaldo for me is better. Just from he's done it in 3 different countries now.
Yeah.
And he scored more goals, and I just prefer his style of play. But I don't think that if Messi did go to China, I don't think that would take anything away from him, for the simple fact that he's won everything there is to win, and he's now 33.
No, I get that. I think it would. I think,
29,
but I think people would look. I think people would look at it and go, like, Messi left, Ronaldo left Real Madrid older than you, about the same age, sorry, that you're leaving, and he went to another elite level club in Europe and then smashed it. He's broke, like, this season broke Juve's all-time season goal scoring record, right? As an example, for me, I think what I want to see Messi at Man United. I'm not even going to lie to you this morning. If we announced it, I'd be like so happy. However, if it meant we were not going to get Jadon Sancho, I wouldn't want it, because longevity is more important to me right now. However,
it's not gonna happen, Terry, for the simple fact Ronaldo played for Messi and they're big rivals. It'd almost be like him constantly trying to live up to something that he wouldn't.
However, I look at it the other way. I don't think Man United are going to get. By the way, I don't think United will get him for a multitude of reasons. However, it could work the other way. If you're Lionel Messi and you go to Man United and you're that player that pulls us out of a pit and gets us back to winning titles in the next couple of years, just say that happened. I'm telling you now, he could go down as a bigger legend. Like, Man United fans are so desperate to get out of the mire that they're in. It could be huge. He could go to Man City because that's there. But what I want to see from Messi, forget Man United, forget that, because we're all getting emotional for who we support. What I personally want to see Lionel Messi do, if he leaves Barca, he has to go, in my opinion, to a team in one of the top 4 leagues and kill it. Because if he does that, that's sort of like, it shuts down one of those arguments that could Messi do it outside of Spain. That's still one of the reasons a lot of people side with Ronaldo in the debate. And I think Messi is every bit as arrogant about being the greatest player ever in the world, or at least the greatest player of the last 30 years. So I think it's important for him. Will it be Man United or Man City? I don't know. We've just added eye test to the call. Eye test, what you saying, bro?
Yes. What I want to say is, if Messi leaves Barcelona, he needs to strong on the fight. What move is best for him? Because I'm hearing a lot of talk about Manchester City. Listen, Messi, if you want to go down as a legend,
Are you there?
Think about your legacy. You have to go to Manchester United. Think about the storyline. For me, the two you should think of is Man United and Inter Milan. Let me talk about Inter Milan. If he goes to Inter Milan, overtakes Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, Juventus for the Serie A, that will be legendary. It will be remembered forever. And I think Juventus have 9 Serie A titles in a row. And if Messi's able to go to Inter Milan and stop them from winning the 10th, that will be legendary.
That's a great point. And that's what I'm talking. Mate, that's a great point. That's a great point, Itesh. You need to fix your connection a bit. It's a little bit sketchy. That is a great point, and that is exactly what I'm pulling on. If he pisses off to China or America, for me, the debate between him and Messi is over. Him and Ronaldo is over. He needs to go to a big club and surpass something that Ronaldo did in that league. Or as he said, I think Inter Milan's a great shout. If he goes to Inter Milan and then they can break the stranglehold of Juve winning titles, and he could even outscore Ronaldo in a season, it's the thumb in the eye, and I think he cares about that. I think that's a great shout. We've got Prime on the call as well now. Prime, what you saying, bro?
Well, a couple of days ago when this news all came out, I didn't believe it because this has happened before with Messi. Remember when he lost that final with Argentina? And then he said that he was going to retire. And a few days later, he came out of retirement. Messi's known for doing things like this. You know, he's known for picking his toys out the pram when things go wrong.
It does. But this feels very, very different. This has normally those things, forget the international stuff because I couldn't care less. There's been other times where he might be leaving Barca, but there's been no one of any real, there's been no real credible journalist that's spoken of it. This time round, it's true. And this is always my view. Whenever you know a rumor is true in the transfer sector, is where you get multiple high-level tier 1 journalists reporting on it, but with variations of the story. When you know it's a bit fraudulent is where one person does the story and then all the newspapers write articles on it, but they all refer back to that one newspaper's article. Does that make sense? This is different. You've got all, I mean, I've actually had Jamie Jackson and another 2 journalists cancel their shows with me this week because of the Messi deal. They've been pulled onto it by the newspapers. Everybody is into this. Now, if they were just going to be reiterating somebody else's story, they wouldn't be. It's just easy. It takes 10 minutes to do that, if that makes sense. You do one paragraph of your own words, and then you just reiterate the other article and you repost it. The journalist, footballer, this feels real. There is genuine credibility. If you were him, though, Prime, and you leave, where should he go?
I don't. The thing is about him, Messi at Barcelona, and you're right about him having too much power. But Barca has been set up to revolve around him in terms of not just on the pitch, but everything off it, the whole club. If he leaves, and like you guys were saying, he goes to Inter. If he goes to Inter for 3 or 4 seasons or whatever until he retires, and he doesn't win the Scudetto or the Champions League, I don't want people to then start saying, "Oh, well, because Inter Milan doesn't suit Messi's style of play." That's why.
But fanboys are always going to do that. Forget fanboys. The Football Terrace don't have fanboys. We're about real chat, and I don't really care what any other platform says. It's about what our platform says here. If Messi goes there and doesn't deliver, then Ronaldo has won the battle. You know, it's a bit like the Messi thing, isn't it? And I know Ites is on here. He's going to, Hazard thing. I know Ites is on. He's going to cry about me saying this, but it's the truth. At the end of the day, he went to Real Madrid. He's got another season to prove himself at Real Madrid. If he flops again next season, then any chat of being one of the best players of the last 10, 15 years is over. It's gone. He has no excuse to get out of that because, and these things are what happen. These things are what happen, you know.
I think Messi has to win a Champions League in the Premier League to be like, don't get me wrong, Juventus, Bayern Munich, very good teams, but if you can make it in the Premier League, this is why even as
Messi can't make it, not at this age, he can't.
That's nonsense. He's brilliant.
Not at this age.
Nah.
In the Premier at 33. Jamie Vardy's top goal scorer at 33. Why can't Messi?
Aubameyang is 31 as well.
Come on.
I didn't for him to come to United. I was sick. He was sick, bro.
Come on.
So all right. So if he goes to Man United right now, United win the Premier League.
No, they don't, because what United will do.
I don't know about that, mate. I think Lionel Messi, even at this age, I mean, how many? I mean, Barcelona were awful this year. I forget where they finished in the league, because at the end of the day, like you're looking at a league which has got 2 or 3 really good teams in it, and you start scraping below that, and it isn't so great. This is like Lionel Messi's season this year. I mean, 31 goals in all competitions is the worst season he's had since 2008. But with everything going on, 31 goals still isn't too bad. Season before that, man scored 51 goals. 40. I think if he goes to a Premier League team and feels rejuvenated, this is how it needs to work. Messi needs to go somewhere where he feels motivated again. If you get a motivated Messi at this point, he will score between 25 and 30 goals. He could turn a team that's coming second, third, or fourth in the league now, as it stands, into title winners because of how potent he is, how many goals he's going to score. You know, you put that man on free kicks, you're gonna score extra free kicks. You give that guy chances, you're going to score goals. He will put fear into any fullback in the league, even at 33. If he goes, and I mean it seriously, if he goes to City, straight out, City are winning the league. If he goes to Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea won't sign him because of who you've got. They'll win the league. If he goes to Man United, we will honestly have a proper title push if Lionel Messi was in our team because he just changes things for you. He is that good. Good.
Terry, would you want Messi over
Sancho?
No.
Hang on a second, though. Hang on a second. You've just said, Terry, you've just said if he goes to City, they'll win the league. Bruv, they were 3-0 up against us and they got turned over. So what does that...
Messi
and he was playing.
Terry,
Bruv, but yes, again, this is where... Hang on, so guys, that's why you're conflating the difference between Lionel Messi in a Barca team that we have all clearly said on this call, the club has been falling apart at the seams internally. When a club's falling apart at the seams and the culture's gone, I think a team on the pitch can lose its resolve. And I think that's what's happened to Barcelona. That doesn't mean the player's lost his resolve. He's part of a team that's in this, that's in that situation. As an example, I mean, Liverpool have got players in their team right now who are killing it that were flopping under Brendan Rodgers. You know, you've got players in your team now that your fans used to abuse, but yet a new manager's come into that same club and just Jordan Henderson just won Player of the Year. So for me, if you put, that's why I've said, if you go back to what I said, Lionel Messi has to go to a club that he's motivated to be in. And if he does that and he doesn't just chase money, or he doesn't just chase the easy way out as an example, he will kill it. And I don't think it's about, so yes, so that's my point on that. If I'm to reiterate that and go in a little bit deeper, if he goes somewhere where he's motivated, Lionel Messi could turn a team who are meant to finish third or fourth, he could turn them into title winners. He is quite simply that good because you add his goals to a team. But on the other question, would I take him over Jadon Sancho? No. Not in a month of Sundays.
When Messi's available.
And again,
who else is available?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take Messi. I wouldn't take Messi over Sancho because Sancho could be here balling at a very high level for 10 years. Where for me, you're getting Messi for 2 or 3 years. I would only want to take Messi now if we can't get Jadon Sancho. If we can't get him, but we could sign him, I don't know how that's possible financially. We'll go into it later. Then I would look at it. The same as any other club. Like right now, Chelsea don't need him. Chelsea haven't got the space for him now. It means you'd literally have to go and sign Ziyech before you even played him as an example if you sign someone like him. Listen. What?
Like Man United, for example, or City, are they set up for Messi?
What does that mean?
In terms of the system, the club, the players on the pitch, are they all set up?
What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Be specificity. What do you mean?
I mean, in terms of the fact that Messi has flourished at Barca,
right?
And this is not me taking anything away from him, but he's flourished playing under that tiki-taka style and brand.
That's a myth. Shall I tell you why that's a myth? Because Valverde didn't play tiki-taka and he did amazing.
How long was Valverde there for?
The guy that won the treble, in 2015, they didn't play tiki-taka then, and Messi did well. So that's a myth.
United, even Liverpool,
Still, that it's still playing.
Come on, Prime. Prime. What you're doing, guys? 1 second. Prime. What you're Prime. Stop. Prime. Stop talking, please. Prime. What you're doing is you're trying to play devil's advocate, but it's silly. You could make that argument about any player that anybody signs. You're a Chelsea fan. Are you guys playing the same style of football as Ajax? Are you playing the same style of football as Werder Bremen for Werner? Are you playing the same style of football that Bayer Leverkusen do for Kai Havertz? Are you playing the same style of football as Leicester for Ben Chilwell? Are you playing the same style of football for PSG for Silva? No. it's I get your point, but it doesn't really work out in logical sense. That means that every time you sign a player, you have to change your team system to make it work. Lionel Messi is one of the most talented and gifted football players the world has ever seen. He will. Yes, would he want to go and play pragmatically for and track back loads for someone like a Jose Mourinho? No. Could he play a forward-thinking, free-flowing football for a Lampard or a Pep or a Klopp? Absolutely, he could in that. O'Shea, you were going to say something, bro?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, personally for me, and this is going back to an interview that Alex Ferguson did. I'm sure you've probably watched it amongst everybody else in the chat, and he was talking about why Ronaldo is better than Messi, and this is why I don't think Messi would work at Liverpool or Manchester United. As much as I love Liverpool, our midfield, I think they're great, but they're not good enough for a player like Messi. Relies on a Xavi, a Ronaldinho, and Iniesta. He can't go into a team with a Wijnaldum, a Henderson, work like machines. He needs players of that Ronaldinho caliber. That's how he plays. He's not like Ronaldo. Ronaldo could go to Crystal Palace, Wolves. He's scoring hat tricks. Messi's not that style of player, and you can see that. Look at when those players left Barcelona, and then the replacements, Busquets, Vidal. I can't even pronounce his name. Arturo Vidal. As they started to get older, it flopped because Messi relies on.
Yeah, but he's still, other than this season, though, mate. Other than this season, right? So if you look at the last 4 years prior to this one, 51 goals, 45 goals, 54 goals, 41 goals. Plus, the man's still been putting over 50 to 60 goal contributions a season.
Terry, of course, he's going to do that in La Liga, bruv. He's not won the Champions League. That's the main thing. When you're playing in a team like La Liga, like La Liga, where it's a two-horse race, the Champions League is where you really show your stripes. The Premier League's different. You don't have to win the Premier League.
The Champions and Premier League's different, but do you know that Lionel Messi is the 5th all-time top goal scorer against the Premier League top 6? He has more goals against the Premier League top 6.
Yeah, and that's playing Champions League games, not in the Premier League games.
Playing with the Premier League, though. Playing against the Premier League is different from playing in.
I get your points, but the problem is none of us really know the answer to whether or not he could hack it in the Premier League or not, and that is quite literally the point I'm making. This is about him upping his already amazing legacy to next. If he comes to, look, it being Man United is an example. Don't get stuck in the weeds of but Ollie, but no. If he comes to United or to City or to Liverpool, or he goes to AC Milan and turns their fortunes around, or Inter Milan and does something there, it's legacy building. It's like Thiago joining Liverpool. It's legacy building. I'm going to do it in 3 leagues. I'm going to dominate in 3 leagues, in 3 different countries, and be the king in all of them in those central midfield areas, as an example. If Messi comes to the Premier League, yes, of course there's question marks over whether or not he can deliver, because we've seen top players come here. We saw Chelsea sign one of the most potent, deadly strikers of his era in Shevchenko, and the man flopped. The guy looked like a championship player here. You never actually quite know if it's going to work. All the players Chelsea are signing, all the players that Chelsea have just signed right now, how many of them are Premier League proven? One. But yet you're all buzzing about it. So if Messi may not fit in the Premier League, one of the greatest players of all time, maybe the greatest player of all time, everyone's like, he can't come because he might not fit, it might not work, he doesn't have Xavi. Yet we're all out there signing lesser players than him, thinking it's okay because they'll work. Either the logic doesn't make sense.
Terry, if Messi comes, what's the expectation of him?
30 goals a season. First season,
30
goals.
For me,
he gets 30 goals a season, but he doesn't win the Premier League. That's a success.
No, he is, though. He is. I think he would. I agree with Terry on that level, that if he goes to any one of the big 6, Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea, they're winning the Premier League that season. I don't know if they'll win the Champions League, because the Premier League and the Champions League are two different ball games. Look at Liverpool; we've just won the Premier League almost on 100 points and got knocked out in the round of 16. So
that's knockout football for you. These things happen. The difference is what I've seen with Barca in the last 3 years. They've lost their resolve. They've lost their. You know what? Even though they knocked United out last season. Go back to that game against them at the Nou Camp. We had 2 very early chances to score, hit the crossbar with one of them and just missed. Who knows what would have happened to their arse if those goals go in? Does that make sense? Like, they've got history in the last 3 or 4 years, and that's because some resolve had gone. And that's more of a cultural thing than it is a quality of player. By the way, Barca's squad's full of quality players. People sleep on it. Yeah. You might actually find that if you remove Messi and Suarez and a few of the older heads and keep the Griezmanns and some of the younger players, that it will transform itself. Sometimes things just become stale. And there's a very old saying that sometimes a change is as good as a rest. And I think that Lionel Messi and Barcelona collectively need that. But boys, I appreciate you all coming on. Really good chat from O'Shea Prime. Matty was on the call, but Matty never spoke up, bro. I'm not sure if he dropped off or not. Matty, you should just chime in, bro. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you very, very much. As always, smash the like button, hit the share button as well. And we'll see you all again very